Hi everyone, it's Professor McGee and I'm here with a quick intro to Canva. So hopefully by now you have your Canva account and you've been playing around. This week you will be submitting onto your discussion board that has the yellow banner, the space for messing around in design. You'll be uploading two of your first versions of your business card. So when you are designing on Canva, here's a few things to keep in mind. First of all, what is really nice about working with the sort of pre-designed templates and pre-designed sizes is that they are already there for you, the sizes. So we will choose this. However, once it loads, we're going to see the layouts that Canva has. And look, they have some attractive layouts, no doubt about it. However, you are not permitted to use a template. You can certainly be inspired by things that you see on a template, but you are not actually going to be using a template. So there's a few reasons for that. One is that you really want this to really be your own design. The second thing is that a lot of these, Canva templates and layouts are pretty popular. And, it could be that a lot of people might have really the same thing. And you really, really want to avoid that. The third thing is that it takes a lot of the decision making about design out of your hands when the purpose of this course is to put it into your hands and ultimately onto the whatever canvas upon which you're working. So we're going to avoid those templates. Okay, and the first two versions of your business card are only going to have, the first version is only going to have type. You are only going to have whatever font scheme, whatever typographical scheme you have decided you want to try out. Now, they might not have, let's see if we're gonna work with the heading there. So as you see here, we can work with the heading, we can change the size, we can change the font. Now, if you had a typeface that you found and you liked and they don't have it on Canva, which is very possible, and Photoshop really does have a lot more. So if you have access to Photoshop, you should certainly feel free to use it, but don't worry if you don't. So if your typeface isn't here, you can go into Identify. I put a link in in this week, and you can search for a very similar font. So you really just want to work with your font and your type scheme for your very first version. This is really about designing and seeing type, not just as a place to communicate words, but as a vehicle through which to communicate, your message about who you are and what you represent. So that's really important. So you will be working with the text for the first version. If you want to just go in with a little bit of text, you can do that. And why is that not moving? Hello, move. Here we go. One caution when you are working with your text and when you are aligning, especially when you're aligning your contact information, what you want to avoid is you want to avoid putting your type just too close to the top or too close to the side or any one margin. You always want to leave a little bit of breathing room unless you're really doing something very purposely to make a design statement. But you really don't want to be too close to the top, too close to the bottom. Really, it adds so much more interest when you kind of leave those. I'm going to put this on the top, this goes in the middle, and this goes in the bottom. And you really play around with the alignment and see, what looks good. So the first card, your first version is just going to be text. Your second version, however, you can look to employ shapes and lines. Let me go back to the layouts for a moment. Okay, when you see this here, this W here, also this bolts here in the circle, this is called typographical furniture. We'll talk about this more later, but it is when you use shapes to create like a visual impression, almost like to mimic like an image or an illustration, but you're using the shapes and just type to do that. Okay, because the other rule, and this is going to hold through for every version of your business card, okay, is no illustrations. Okay, no Like you can certainly do typographical furniture, but you're not going to do anything like a background like that where it's, you know, completely like an image. No photographs. If you want to put your picture on your card, you're going to have to wait and not do that right now. Even something like that, which is an image, is not permitted. Okay, and the reason being that you really want to work with color, you want to work with type, you want to work with all of the design principles that you're learning, and we really don't get into working with photos and images until later. But you can later go back if you wish, and you can, at the end of the course, you can do a redesign and you can choose your business card, and some students do choose to add a photograph or some kind of image at that time, and that's fine. So for right now, we're going to be avoiding that. Okay, so look, Canva is great, it's fun, but there are it can be a little frustrating sometimes, and like sometimes there's just these little glitches and it can be hard to figure out. There are a lot of help videos. People upload them all the time to YouTube. Canva has their own good help. They have a lot of resources, and in fact, you'll be reading some of their readings from their design school too throughout the course, because they're really pretty good. So just be patient with yourself. Try to enjoy it and have fun, okay? And I'm really looking forward to seeing your first two versions this week. So again, have fun and onwards.